Hello and welcome to another episode of CineBeards. I'm your host, Jason Musicanth. With me is the handsome Dion van Heerden.
Hooray!
And the charming Marcus Kneef.
Also a human.
So in this week's episode, we're going to be looking over a few news stories and trailers that came out in the past week or two.
Because there came out some good trailers.
And
That
some
there
bad
did.
trailers.
And some really bad ones.
So we'll start off with the news and then move on to the trailers.
Nice.
Nice.
So a little bits of news here in no particular order.
News time.
Let me actually start with one that's going to be right up Dion's alley. And that is that the Russo brothers are in talks with Fox to make a deal. So the Russo brothers and I think the Daniels, they call them, the dudes who did Swiss Army Man, they are forming a production company together, and that's going to be a subsidiary of Fox.
Okay.
That's alright. That's okay. Wasn't Logan made under Fox?
Logan was made under Fox.
That's alright.
But more importantly, Disney basically owns the Russos, and Fox does own Fantastic Four.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Are you implying that Disney sold the Russos into slavery to get the Fantastic Four back?
I think that sounds
not
about
be
right.
the first time that Disney sold people into slavery.
It really wouldn't. That is an interesting theory. I like that.
Because in Homecoming, we already saw that Stark was selling Stark Tower. And if you need a Baxter building with a whole bunch of technology and stuff, what better place than Stark Tower?
Yeah. Makes sense.
There's just so much legal BS around it.
Well, I read another story, and now it's finally making sense. Marvel have also announced that they are relaunching the Fantastic Four as a comic book.
Ooh.
Because
That's pretty much confirms it then.
Because remember, the
Half-Life
Fantastic
3
Four
confirmed.
was out of print for like 8 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
been
going on-
ages, yeah.
There's been 17 universe reshuffles in the comics since they've been ousted.
Jeez. Alright, okay.
Okay, so that
All
makes
right.
my theory hold a little bit more water.
Nice.
little bit
I
more.
like it. That's
Like
good. That's a good ass theory bucket you have there.
Yeah, it's gone from
Ass theory,
fedora to Stetson.
All right. Okay.
Okay,
Cool,
so-
cool. I mean, that's cool. I mean, on the other hand, it might just end up being a case of not even superhero related properties. You know,
shut
like,
your whole mouth.
We're just gonna do like a really fun National Lampoon style holiday film with the Russo brothers.
It could be, but the Russos are busy because was it 2 years ago they also opened a production company in China? You remember that?
That rings bells.
They've got it. They do own or are part of a Chinese production company as well, producing movies for the Chinese market.
That's probably more like, here is money, give me money back.
All right, next one down here. I think I'll target at Marcus. And that's that Luc Besson says that a Valerian sequel could still possibly happen.
Well, he also said a Fifth Element sequel could still happen,
Yeah, but like,
and a Leon the Professional.
And
Every movie he's ever
does
made.
have a bit of a track record.
He has a track record of promising a sequel to every movie he's ever
that
made.
being said, Blade Runner looks like it's gonna. I mean, that's tracking to be huge. So, a Fifth Element sequel would make a lot more sense.
Than a Valerian sequel.
Yeah.
Also, it would be cheaper to produce
Yeah.
than
Far
a
cheaper to
Valerian
produce.
sequel. But I would actually like to see a Valerian sequel in the same breath. I mean, having seen it, I want to see more of that world.
Yeah, I just want to see less of Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, I want to see less Dane DeHaan, and this is going to sound controversial, but I want to see more Rihanna. Like, give me a bubble prequel to Valerian. Just a bubble prequel, and I will be happy as a pig in shit. Cara Delevingne was okay.
She wasn't as bad as she was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, well, she actually spoke a human language instead of just gobbledygook.
Nobody's as bad as they were in Suicide Squad.
Not even Will Smith.
Well,
Especially
no,
not
Will
Will
Smith is just basically always
Will
the same
Smith.
character.
He's
Will
just Will
Smith.
Smith. He's just
Yeah.
the same guy in a different costume with different lines, slightly different lines.
He was
That's
just
his
Will
baseline.
Smith.
Yeah, he just rocks up. He doesn't know what the rest of the story is. He's just like,
He
give me.
doesn't
doesn't
care
care.
about it. They don't
We-
even give him a script. They
we-
just kind of dress him up and
And they just put him
shoot
in
him
there.
on the
Sometimes,
set.
and a lot of the thing is they have to always film him from 4 or 5 angles, so that in post they can like digitally scan him and rotate him to face in the right direction. Because he literally just stands there and says the lines.
He just walks through the set, just wanders through the set speaking to himself.
Reading the lines, and their cameramen are just like desperately following. Green screens behind him so they can try and make it look like a static shot. If you look at it, like, his legs are CG'd on to be standing still, but he's like, his upper body's actually bobbing very slightly.
Scientologists say, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Wait, Will Smith is a Scientologist now?
Yeah.
I always thought he was a scenetologist because he tends to steal scenes.
That's your second joke, Marcus. You have 2 left, and then you're out.
And one of them better be a tasteful genocide joke.
One of them had better be a joke.
What was that news story of? Oh, Valerian. Yeah,
Yeah,
Valerian.
hooray!
Valerian sequel. Want one, never gonna happen, but I would still watch it
Yeah,
if it
I
did.
want to see more of that universe.
All right.
Okay.
What's next?
Seeing as you mentioned it recently, you mentioned it now, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
We're not going to be getting a
2049.
director's cut coming out afterwards because the cut that we're seeing in theaters is the director's cut.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, they've learned their lessons, I guess.
Yeah, it's good news to me.
Yeah, that's always good. I absolutely hate the idea of director's cuts being necessary. And I
Yeah.
hate the idea, especially now. I think years later, if you didn't know about the behind-the-scenes turmoil at the time, it's fine. But I mean, nowadays, where every DC film coming out, they're like, okay, there will be an extended cut.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know this before you even go into the theater. And what's the point?
Yeah.
Well,
They're literally telling you, hey, you're gonna have to spend your money twice to get the full experience.
Yeah.
Even
Even
look, I wouldn't put it past Warner Brothers to make him do like a director's cut afterwards with extra footage and
well,
like,
there
push it
might
up to
just
3
might
hours
just
and
be an
stuff.
extended edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like what 20th Century Fox did to Ridley Scott with Alien.
Well, there is precedent for multiple versions of a Blade Runner movie. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
I mean, there was.
But you do
I own
wanna,
5.
But going to the cinema originally, you weren't aware of that,
No.
and that does sort of color how you view a film.
Yes.
And I like the fact that even something like Age of Ultron, which ultimately could have done with a more streamlined cut and could have done with an alternate edition. Joss Whedon said, like, right out the gate, like, nope, there will be no extended cut, there will be no director's cut. The cut in the cinema is the cut I want, for better, or that is the film,
Yeah.
for better or worse. And I prefer that going in than knowing, like, oh, this is a poor compromise, and I'll get the real thing later.
But I mean, not to bag on the DCEU some more, because I know we're very mean to it. But that's
Shame.
just another point in Marvel's favor. They don't release extended or director's cuts
Yeah, but
of
they
their
don't have
theatrical films.
They don't have extended in their universe name.
Yeah, the director's cut extended universe.
Yeah.
That's the joke I was going to make, and there was not going to be a second part to it.
Nope.
Nope.
That
I'm
was
awake.
all the joke that was
I'm
there.
awake. I'm present.
It's
and
not
I'm
like
on
you're going,
fire.
It's not like you're going to release an extended edition of that joke 2 years from now.
Marcus, you made an actual joke.
Yeah.
You're off probation.
Too bad it's about the thing I'm cutting.
Oh no! All right.
Okay. I'm off track.
All right. So
Okay,
Terminator
so
6.
Terminator 6 is happening. James Cameron's
Terminator-
directing. Arnold's back, and they just
Linda
announced
Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton is reprising her role as Sarah Connor.
And it's
And
a
everything
direct sequel to
number 2. Yeah, so everything from number 2 onwards just means nothing.
So
Thank
basically,
goodness.
everything James Cameron didn't make doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm
Although-
pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
It's-
like,
I mean, it's not going to be Cameron directing these because he's
Oh,
got
is it?
4 Avatar sequels.
oh yeah, that's true. I was wondering about
Alrighty,
that.
yeah,
How
he's
he'd
just
work out
producing.
the...
Yeah, the director that they've got on for this one is Deadpool's Tim Miller.
What? I'm keen
What,
on
like,
that.
for realsies.
For realsies.
Okay, then I'm down.
Yeah, no, then I'm down like a clown, dude. Like, seriously, that's
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
news.
if-
When I read that, I was like, fuck yes!
That is outstanding news, because I just saw that she's back, that Arnie's back, that Cameron's involved, and that it's a sequel to 2, and they're throwing out all the other continuity garbage, and that is just the fucking cherry on that cake. No, that's the cake.
That's
Everything else is the
everything
cherry.
else is the
Yeah.
cherry. That's
So
the
the
cake.
headline is Tim Miller making Terminator 6.
Yeah.
3 to 5 thrown in the garbage.
You know what? I wouldn't mind if they just renamed this to The Real Terminator 3.
Terminator 3.
Or just
for
T3.
realsies.
Yeah.
Yeah, T3.
T3, Trainspotting.
Oh no. But yeah, no, I'm excited, and a lot of people are like, oh, Arnie this and Arnie that. Like, he's honestly, for me, his time on screen in Genesis was really enjoyable. Like, I enjoy.
You mean Genesis?
You mean genocidus? I tried.
You tried for the genocide.
I tried. It just fell apart.
Airball to use
Yeah, I was
a
just
soccer
like,
term.
I was running a hurdles race, and I tripped over the second hurdle. I was like, I may as well just go home.
I was
I'm
really
5 seconds
expecting
into this.
a mixed metaphor there.
No.
Like you were running a hurdle race and then the House of Cards fell down.
That too.
I haven't even watched
yeah.
Genesis.
Haven't you?
No.
The thing about Genesis is it is objectively a fun time, but the male leads that they got are charisma black holes. Even, I would argue, more so than Mr. Danny Rand or whatever. Like, just almost offensively bad.
Well, you know the one of them, Jai Courtney.
Oh, right, him.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
you briefly forgot
he's-
his existence.
He's,
there.
Yes,
he's,
yeah.
he,
I was
he's,
like, wait.
he's worse in that movie than he is in Suicide Squad,
Well, to
where
be
he
fair-
was surprisingly one of the highlights.
Yeah,
But he's-
you know you're having a bad movie when one of the highlights of your movie is Jai
Jai
Courtney.
And I think you'll be even more surprised when you eventually watch Genesis, because
Wait, you've
that-
seen the trailer though, right?
Yes.
Then you've seen Genesis.
that
Oh,
no,
right.
there was a lot of fun interplay with Arnie. Like, I actually really enjoyed him on screen. Like, it feels like he's learned to act just enough to make up for the fact that he isn't sort of like a bodybuilder anymore.
Yeah.
And he's just got a certain charm about him in limited doses. And what's her name, the female lead from Game of Thrones?
Oh, Emilia Clarke.
Yeah. She was pretty cool, but like the male leads were just garbage, and the time travel fucking continuity stuff is just cancer. It's so bad.
I'm very happy that that movie is no longer canon.
Yeah. Oh no, it's insulting, but the actual, as I say, the actual scenes with Arnie are entertaining. There's a lot of fun to be had. I would actually really just love to watch a 45-minute cut of that film.
That's just
Like
Arnie.
Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
Where
yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to see a Punisher cut.
Yeah. If anyone's out there and can actually make that happen,
Please do.
please do. I want a Daredevil season 2
We'll send you
Punisher cut.
Krabbies,
Yeah. We will buy you Krabbies.
which is a drink, by the way, not a venereal disease.
But going off of the whole thing, like I told you, James Cameron won't be able to direct this because he's got the
because he
4
made
sequels.
one terrible decision, yes.
Yeah, he's
That terrible decision.
Making 4 Avatar sequels at once.
filming them back to back,
That's not
and
a
he
terrible
started.
decision.
He started today, or
Yeah.
I guess yesterday. For our listeners.
Honestly, like at this point, James Cameron has earned the benefit of the doubt. No matter how crazy anything he does may sound, like James Cameron has the benefit of the doubt forever.
Yes, but it's still just a bad decision in general to lock yourself into that long of a production schedule on one franchise.
If it's, I mean,
without
at this, the
breaks.
thing
No,
is,
but the thing is,
it's also
it's his franchise. It's his labor of love.
completely-
Yes,
I mean,
but
he
still.
wrote a novel in that universe. He sat with sort of geneticists and stuff, and like they developed the whole ecology, the ecosystem. He's completely invested. I think at this point for him, it's a passion project. If you go back and look at something like Titanic, he did Titanic so that he could do a bunch of deep sea exploring.
Yeah.
It's not like Titanic was this massive passion project or story that he had to tell.
Wait, and now
It
he's
was-
used this to do more deep sea exploring.
But that's the thing is, but this, he's doing the actual kind of film that he actually wants to do. It's a universe he's created. He answers to no one. He's got all the money in the world to play with. So that's not so much
Yeah, why
locking
wouldn't-
yourself in as
Why
like,
wouldn't he lock people out of stopping him from doing that?
yeah, I think it's just like, hey, I've worked all these years. I've made some of the highest grossing films. I've made the highest grossing films of all time. I'm the world's biggest filmmaking success story. I'm now going to do whatever the hell I want. And what I want to do is just this. And I mean, I'm excited about Avatar 2 because that's going to be set underwater apparently. And that's just going to be incredible. Like, just visually. I mean, I'll go in with earplugs probably, but you know, it's just, you just sit there. It's just beautiful. It's going to be amazing. And apparently for 3 or 4, he's targeting glassesless 3D.
Yeah, I heard he's trying to push technology again, which I am all for.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're gonna
like, he single-handedly saved and revived 3D the first time.
Yeah, and if he's constantly pushing technology forward, he also pushed the technology which is now ubiquitous of where actors are in a digital scene. Where through the camera, like they, not just the performance capture, which is obviously a huge thing now as well, but also where through his camera lens, he could see the digital environment rendered in real time. Which was also just a new thing that he was pioneering, which made filming stuff like in CG environments so much easier. And actors could immediately get feedback and see, oh, here I am relative to this, here I am relative to that. So he's not just making cool films, he's also pushing technology forward massively.
Only good can come of this.
Yeah. Jeez. Even if the films end up being like
garbage fires.
Yeah, like story-wise or whatever. I actually didn't mind Avatar's story, but
it was a little bit of a retread, but
yeah,
I don't mind retreads.
Yeah,
that'd be perfectly honest.
It got a little preachy for me, and just Unobtainium is the stupidest name for anything ever. But overall, it was kind of like, it was fine story-wise because it served the purpose of presenting you this world. And even if the stories end up being garbage fires, like, he's gonna push technology forward. There's going to be amazing stuff that we're going to feel in the rest of the film industry, game industry, for years and years and years and years to come. So, like, go for it, James Cameron. You've earned it. Like, this is basically his retirement, I think.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fine. I don't care for Avatar as a franchise in the least, but I understand your points, and I will let you have them.
Yes, because those technological advances will help the film and franchises that you do care about. It's for the greater good. Let James Cameron do what he wants.
The ends justify the means.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so that's James Cameron.
Cavill. He grew a moustache. It's not funny. Don't encourage me.
Okay, so I think that covers most of the interesting news stories that we've got.
Nice.
Does it?
Oh, wait. There is one more.
Yeah.
You know that small, like, passion project movie that they're creating, Star Wars Episode 8?
They're like the real sort of indie niche kinda...
low budget.
Yeah. So what about it?
They've finished post-production on it. It is now a complete movie.
That is objectively incredibly impressive. All jokes about indie films aside, like, the fact that Episode 8, because everyone's so worried about, like, all the director changes and Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm and all these things.
Reshoots.
Yeah,
Kathleen Kennedy's a Nazi. She's just genociding directors left, right, and center.
Hey!
Yes, did it. Yes,
I did it.
Woo! Yeah, high five.
Air horn.
Yes. We did it, guys. That finishes off the podcast. We did our genocide joke.
Goodbye forever.
There you go, Andre.
So, yeah, but with all the drama going around, the fact that a major film like that, with that much, obviously, I mean, that special effects and reshoots and all this stuff, to go gold, what, 3 months before release?
Just about, yeah.
October, November, December. Yeah, basically 3 months
basically
before.
3 months.
They're just, it's done. I mean, it's finished. It's in the can. It's ready.
It's in Disney's vault.
And that means they've got, what, 2 months now before Thor comes out, which means they've pretty much got 2 months to work on an outstanding trailer. With what
not just that, they've got, I'm pretty sure Episode 8's trailer is going to come out mid-October.
Probably.
Like Episode 7. But still, they've got a month to work on an incredible trailer. And also to just, like, increase the size of their Scrooge McDuck bank vault.
Yeah.
Just, can you imagine how much money they're making? It's disgusting.
And that's like not even taking into account the merchandising.
That's not even
Just
taking in,
Lego sales alone.
not even taking account to the fact that 4 months later they have an Avengers film and a Star Wars spin-off film in the same month.
No, just about a month apart.
No, they're both in May.
Is it? I thought Han Solo was like 6th of June or something.
May.
No, man.
No, something else is 6th of June.
My dad's birthday.
Besides your father's birthday.
It was actually quite a few years ago. It was Dion's dad's release date.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, like 50 odd years ago.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, but closer to 60 now, I guess. Like it was, but I mean that's like old Academy rules and stuff, and that hasn't been adjusted for inflation.
Did your dad have a pretty big opening weekend?
Yeah, it was massive. But I mean, again, it was the 50s, so
Inflation and everything.
Yeah.
it made like $3.
fewer screens, fewer 3D screens, fewer IMAX screens back then.
And obviously the indie circuit wasn't great.
Yeah, nah. Only premiered at like 1 or 2 festivals. So, what are we talking about?
Your dad is a baby, I guess.
I'm so confused.
Your grandmother just being ta-da!
Oh no, that's right. Sorry.
It's like doctors, doctors in the hospital with like stethoscopes listening to his stomach, go like, yeah, no, he's tracking for a big ol' opening weekend. We're revising our projections upwards.
The trailers are just the what do they call those? Ultrasounds.
Oh no, it's
Only set photos.
Oh
Deadpool.
god, I don't want to see the pre-production.
Deadpool 2 is June 6th.
Is it?
Yes.
That's tasty news.
Yep. Han Solo is May the 26th, like a week and a bit before.
I would say that, objectively speaking, the best news I've heard today, aside from just Episode 8 wrapping production, which, like, just affirms even further this really good feeling that I have about the film, is just that Tim Miller news. That is just...
That is some tasty, tasty news.
That is tasty. Doing a Terminator film.
It's gonna be good.
That's going to be amazing. Especially, I mean, the guy knows how to work with a limited budget. So imagine him with a James Cameron budget.
It's a big budget.
It's a big old
That's a
budget.
big old budget.
Big old budgets.
Okay, so that's gonna do it for the news. So let's get stuck into these trailers.
All right, trailer.
I'm keen for a bit of a Marcus rant, so let's start off with Tomb Raider. Marcus.
Wait. I know what Marcus is going to say. I know what he's going to say. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine, and that's why this whole place is on fire. Oh my god, where do I even start with this one? So, I'm fine with the idea of a video game movie.
Yeah. I imagine you would be.
A good one is going to be made eventually. Tomb Raider could have been that movie. But instead of... This is from what I can gather from seeing the trailer. Obviously, I haven't seen an advanced screening of the film or anything like that. But it looks like they took all the wrong elements from that video game to make this video game movie. And they took like, oh, look, she's got daddy issues. That is, it doesn't even feature in the Tomb Raider they're basing this off of. And this whole thing of you've got to save the world and everything. No, that's a shitty video game plot that doesn't belong in a movie.
Saving the world.
Yeah, they basically, like, Tomb Raider 2013, the reboot, right?
Yeah.
It's literally, she's got a lust for adventure. She's on, like, her gap year or some shit. And she's like, I'm going to go to the South China Sea and adventure with this ship. You know, yes, I've got money, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't feature in the story at all. The fact that the Crofts have all the money in the world. Doesn't matter. You don't even know she has parents. She just goes exploring, shit happens, and she stumbles across a fucking cult that want to sacrifice a virgin. And it's very sort of like Indiana Jones Temple of Doomy for most of it. Like, why couldn't they just do that?
I don't know if this is spoiler territory, but is she the virgin?
No.
Alright, I'm just checking.
She's not. She's
done a sex or two in the game.
Alright, okay.
No, I can't remember her doing a sex in the game.
No, she doesn't do a sex in the game, but her character prior to the game had done a sex or two.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the
So she's not a
prequel
virgin.
DLC.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They do mention it that she's not a virgin in the game. But here's the thing, though. Like, the game itself is just on the surface level, it's a tale of survival, right? They could have castawayed this thing, and it would have been great. Where it's just her, and like she's trying to survive on the island. She crafts a bow and arrow like you do in the game.
I see what you did there.
Hunts her first deer, and doesn't even see people for most of the movie. Then it becomes this great reveal when she finds out, oh look, there's this sort of murderous sun worshipping cult on this island, and it goes like balls to the wall mystical bullshit for the last third. That
So,
could have been a very entertaining movie.
Like a Tomb Raider version of Bone Tomahawk.
I have not seen Bone Tomahawk, so I'm gonna go yes.
Alright,
All
that
right.
seems like a safe bet.
What I'm saying is now they're like, you've got to save the world, and your father is basically Jesus for some reason.
The thing that I liked about the trailer, even though I may not have been paying very close attention,
Also,
is that
objectively, it's a badly made trailer.
it in no way makes me think of Danny Rand at any point.
Oh wait, no, it does.
Oh, wait, it does!
Oh no!
Oh, I didn't even get to that part where the similarities between, in the first half of the trailer, between her character and Danny Rand. It's like they copy the scene where she's like, I'm Lara Croft. It's like, I'm
And then the
Danny
receptionist
Rand.
person looks up like, what?
Well, the key difference is in I wanted to say Danny Rand. In Iron Fist, they're like, no, we don't believe you, Danny Rand. But it looks like from the trailer, the receptionist is immediately like, oh, now that you mention it, you do look like you.
Just instantly, like, whoa, man.
No.
And they even have that like trailer. Boom,
Yes.
as
I
he
like that
goes.
they have. I like that that it's doing the twin power fantasies of like, you know, super hyper wealth and extremely well armed. Actually, three-pronged, because also, as you mentioned, her dad is Jesus apparently.
Yeah.
Tell us
Wait,
about.
her
Tell us a
dad's
little-
Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yes.
but
Interesting.
but with glasses and without the fake moustache.
Yeah.
Hey, repetition.
Tell us a little bit about how she's defined as her own character and not defined in relation to her father several times in the trailer.
Well,
I'd be very interested to know that myself, actually.
yeah, well, okay. If in the 2013 game, and I'm going to keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
Because that's what
because
it's
they made
based
it
off of.
very clear that we're basing
Yeah.
this off that
Especially
reboot.
with the climbing pick and
Yeah.
the bow and arrow and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it literally comes up in the entire. The campaign takes about 12 to 16 hours to complete, right? And there are at least like 4 hours of real story progression in there, right? The fact that you're a Croft, Lara, this is what you do, is mentioned once.
Nice.
Once.
Sounds
in the
tasteful.
entire story, like, she finds one of the people that were on the boat with her when it sank, and he's busy dying, and he's like, you remind me of your father, you've got this fire in you, and then he dies, and that's the only mention of the Croft family
what
in
about-
the game.
What about in its sequel, which I guess this would also be, the movie would also be taken from? Is there daddy stuff in there?
I have not played Rise of the Tomb Raider yet. It is on my list
I've
for
heard-
my YouTube channel.
I've heard
actually.
there's a whole bunch of daddy issues shoehorned in there instead of character development.
Yeah. Look, but that's fine in the game because, you know, like I said, I haven't played Rise of the Tomb Raider, but they have to sort of link to her father in some way at some point in the entire Lara Croft mythos. So, fine. Fine, I'll deal with that.
I find it interesting though that in the trailer they make such a big push to sort of emphasize her family's importance, her wealth, basically entirely defining her by her father. And people keep saying to her in the trailer, like, "Oh, you've got your father in you. Ooh, I see
You've
your
got your
father in
father's
you."
biceps and
Yeah,
his
it-
pickaxe.
It's just so puzzling. This character that's supposed to be this icon of, you know, female empowerment and all these things, that it basically just becomes like she's great by proxy.
Yeah.
And I assume the arc that they're gonna take in the film is like, oh, they're setting her up as being defined by her father, but then she finds her own strength.
No,
And that's her
I'm going to
motivation.
tell you what's going to happen. They're using video game plot A-3, where she's got, because they already spoiled that there's other people on this island and she's being chased or whatever. Her father's just going to be the leader of this cult who went missing years ago. And he's going to have gone all crazy. And she's going to have to...
John C. Reilly.
She's literally going to have to, quote unquote, kill her father to become her own person. That's what they're going to do. And this movie is going to suffer for it.
Yeah.
And if I call it, you can subscribe. You can throw me some money on PayPal or something.
Yeah. It's... I don't know. Everything about that trailer makes me not be excited for the film.
I was like, when I read about this movie and how they're approaching it and who was involved, I was getting excited because I was thinking like, yes, it's a simple enough story that it could work as a movie, just in a visual medium. But now they've gone and made it a video game movie, which is exactly what I didn't want from this video game movie.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Like the sort of plot logic and...
Yeah.
It's so... I mean, the thing is, video games can get away with it because you've got mechanics.
Yes.
Like, the whole thing is you're supposed to be playing a game. Therefore, plot is essentially scene dressing if it wants to be. It can be if the gameplay is good enough. A film can't get away with that. And isn't a trailer supposed to make you excited for a film?
Yes.
Who's going to be excited by this film? Because... Firstly, you've got that whole thing of, wasn't one of the defenses that the Iron Fist crew and the actor in particular used of like why people were reacting negatively to Iron Fist? The fact that he is the sort of, billionaire sort of trust fund kid kind of thing, which we've all now been soured on because of Donald Trump and all that. Which is obvious. No, that was his actual defense.
That's what Loris Tyrell said.
Not
because of
not because of the fact that he was just a bad character.
No. Because of Donald Trump, we've all suddenly been soured on billionaires, which is why no one likes Batman anymore.
Or Iron Man.
Yeah. Nope. And the thing is, you'd think that there would be some attempt to make the film relatable or to appeal to somebody, but I mean, it's not relatable, and it's not a very sort of popular current power fantasy. This whole thing of the missing progeny coming home and they're billionaires and the family owns a business. It's just such a hackneyed, done to death,
it just
boring.
Feels very 70s.
Yeah. It just feels super dated. It actually really feels like a film that in the 90s, like late night Action X TV or whatever, you'd have this old Nicolas Cage film play.
I was about to say it looked like it should star Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Hopefully we're pleasantly surprised and we're totally wrong and we
I always hope I'm wrong. I always hope the movie
Hopefully they just screwed up the trailer.
No, which happens. I mean,
the thing that annoyed me most about the trailer is actually something that you pointed out to me when we were watching it earlier.
No, don't mention it. It's going to drive people crazy.
It is. And I'm not going to suffer through this alone. It's that they use the chords for Black Betty to kind of build tension that they then never release.
Dun down.
Dun
down. No, they don't ever do it. They don't resolve it. They just do the dun down. Dun down.
Dun
down.
And then they never get
ready for the down. And then you sort of think, okay, cool, here comes the
it's
big
gonna come with a big
blowout,
drop, and there's gonna be cool visuals and Black Betty.
Yeah, and it's just,
and then it's just her dad talking to her again.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know my father?
Did whoever scored the trailer or whoever was in charge think like, hey, I can just take this and I don't have to license the track, right? Which sort of, okay, if we saw through it, the rights holders are going to see through it.
Yeah.
Or did they think like, hey, Black Betty is the perfect choice for this, but I'm not going to give it the payoff. I'm just going to give it the thing. Which of those is the stupider decision? I can't make up my mind because they're both objectively stupid.
You know what? I bet the guy who cut this trailer was a big fan of Batman v Superman.
He probably was.
Just a real BVS fan.
Oh, one of those BVSFs. BVS BFF.
Yeah, no, it was a terrible trailer for what's probably going to be a terrible movie.
Cliff Notes version.
Go watch it because it's entertainingly bad, and the Black Betty thing will absolutely drive you ballistic.
Don't give it views. Don't watch it on the Warner Brothers page.
Yeah. Go watch it on Dailymotion.
Go watch
or
it.
something.
No, go watch it on.
Where God doesn't pay
on the
attention.
Kino Check
No,
channel.
no, fuck Kino Check.
No,
I hate
no,
Kino Check
no.
so much. Why is it always at the top? Why is it always above the actual official trailer?
And it has all those overlays and
Looks
distracting
good,
like counter at the top. That like animated thing. Fuck off! I hate you.
No, you know what? In a stunning turn of events, do you know who can eat a bag of dicks this week?
Kino Check.
Kino Check.
Warner
And
Brothers. the
share
thing
it.
though is the thing is Keto Check, from what I can gather, is a German thing.
Yes.
And it's just interesting to finally see the Germans mess up in some way historically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
not like
it's really
they've
good to
ever
see
made
for
any
once
mistakes.
It's like
the
for
Germans
once-
be villains.
For
You know?
yeah,
For once, the Germans are the villains.
Yeah.
yeah. Now we need to invent characters to fight against them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's next?
Uh,
Oh no, wait, you're still on your rant.
Oh yeah.
No, I think I'm done.
I think that was a good rant. Thanks, Marcus.
I think I'm done. I'm just done
You're
with
just
Tomb
done.
Raider movie. I'm done. Even though Alicia Vikander, I think, was a perfect casting for that
Yeah,
character.
she
She's
looks
got the look.
perfect
She's
for
got the physicality.
I mean,
she
her
can
boobs
pull up-
aren't triangles, but
they're supposed to be tetrahedrons and one.
tetrahedrons. I'm sorry, I don't
Jason.
know my shapes.
Jason, it's a tetrahedron in the original games.
You obviously failed preschool.
Yeah.
I did. I kept trying to put the pegs into the alphabet wrong.
You kept trying to put the circle into the tetrahedron.
I tried to put my dodecahedron into the tetrahedron.
The teacher was like, hopeless case.
Hopeless.
Hopeless case. Wrote you off.
At least he'll never get measles.
All
But
right.
yeah, I'm done. I'm done with that.
All right.
rant.
What's next? What's the next trailer?
Next trailer, we'll build up an awesomeness. So the next trailer, Murder on the Orient Express, now featuring hip hop tracks
Yeah, that. Oh,
And Johnny Depp.
and
yeah,
Johnny Depp.
That was a very
Well, I
very
guess both
strange.
hip hop and Johnny Depp are known for beating their wives.
Ooh, that was a very.
Was it directed by
strange-
Joss Whedon?
Oh. That was a very strange post-trailer track choice. That just smacks of.
Very 50 Shades.
Yeah, well, it just smacks of like studios and record labels still having all these sort of tie-in deals and stuff, and it's just like it just completely makes you wonder like, who is the actual target audience for this?
Moustache aficionados.
For sure, I would actually watch it just to see those moustaches on the big screen, preferably IMAX. Just, like that. I mean, that's my full for the year.
Yeah,
That's
just that one moustache
superb.
shot at the end there.
Oh, superb
where he's the
moustache
world's
work.
greatest detective, and you can see that by his moustache.
Yeah, I mean it's just you didn't even have to say the line. Remember the whole thing with filmies? You're supposed to show, not tell.
Yeah.
You didn't have to say it. They could have just had a close up of his moustache, and everyone would know like,
Yeah,
aha.
and even like when you're saying things, how it's shot and framed is more important,
Yeah.
and that shot is all moustache.
Yeah. I think actually what they should have done is they should have had. How are you going to solve this mystery? What makes you qualified? And then just a gaudy zoom close up, twirly, spinning shot of that moustache, and then like
Well, you could see that they
with
were
like the bass drop.
they were quite aware of it because every other character had like their archetype pop up next to them. Oh, there's
Yeah.
the professor. There's the doctor.
Yeah.
That's just a moustache. And like, aha, I know who
Yeah.
he is.
I know who that guy is. That guy's a great detective.
But besides that, it just looks like a movie.
Yeah, it looks like another
it's-
useless remake.
It's weird though because it has such an amazing cast. Like it has an objectively amazing cast, and it's just, what are you all doing?
Yeah, I mean, they've got Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, and Michelle Pfeiffer, I think, and
Yeah,
they've got Daisy
Michelle
Ridley
Pfeiffer's
in
in
there.
there. They've got Olaf the Snowman. I mean, Josh Gad in there as a
Yeah.
comic relief character.
Yeah,
assume.
as Josh Gad, I guess.
Yeah,
that's,
as
that's his
himself.
role.
And they've got whichever human being is being used as a life support system for that moustache they showed at the end. Who's that again?
It is Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
Oh, he hasn't.
wow,
he
he's-
hasn't been in a thing for in a while.
Yeah, no, definitely wasn't in Dunkirk.
Yeah, I just checked IMDb, and the moustache became sentient and grew its own person
Oh, that's great. That probably saved on production costs.
for that moustache.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He's not even credited. It's the moustache. The thing is, they can actually
Like-
pay moustaches less because they don't have a great union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
I think like that's how they got him into this movie. Is they're just like, we'll groom your mustache like this.
This is concept art of what it will look like, and he's like,
It was just
"It's-
a picture of
cannot
the
be done.
Lorax."
Cannot be done.
You have lost your mind,
I
sir.
don't believe you.
Something like that.
Yeah, but it overall just looks at the moment just like, as you say, just a film.
It's just a movie.
Like
It's,
a very, very shiny, very well cast movie that everyone already knows the ending to because we've all read the book.
or played the 1997 video game.
Yes.
Or watched the original movie, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's also an old movie of it.
Oh, right, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also a mini-series at some point?
There's been everything.
Yeah, it's just it's a classic
There've
thing.
been stage plays. There've been a homeless man who just came up and told me the answer. Yeah, so it's filler.
Yeah.
Or is it? It's filler for real life.
Yeah.
Which studio's behind this one, though?
Yeah, I like
I
you
can't
say,
even
who's
remember.
behind this? Like, who's behind this crime, Batman?
No, I'm ju- I'm
Who would
just-
rob
who is
the
responsible
Who would
for
rob
this?
the orphanage?
No, because I'm just wondering, like, who really needs to pad out their like release schedule with this?
I blame Marcus.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And since this is a democracy, when I feel like it, it sticks. It's your fault, Marcus.
Okay.
Well done.
Apologize
Marcus.
to the listener. Sorry.
Sorry, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
Production company, Kinberg Genre, the Mark Gordon Company, Scott Free Productions is probably the main one out of those, and the estate of Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
So the main one on there is Scott Free. That's the little one that you saw with the bird that pops
Yeah.
up at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So it's probably being distributed by Fox Searchlight because they do the smaller scale films, not just.
The
Fox
thing
in
is, I mean,
general.
they had to. I mean, it has to have some budget because I mean that's an expensive cast.
Yeah,
It's
like
an
just Judi Dench alone.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, fucking Willem Dafoe,
Penelope Cruz.
Daisy Ridley. I mean, she's between Star Wars films.
Yeah.
They pretty much just hand her a blank check at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just gonna be filler, like just a solid 5.5, 6 out of 10 movie.
Oh, they're gonna say 5.5, 6 hour movie.
6 hours of just slow motion moustache close ups.
I'd watch that. Okay, so what else do we have?
Okay, so
Sunny
moving
trailer.
on from there, we have probably the most Wes Anderson thing I've ever seen. His trailer for The Isle of Dogs.
That looks so
So
good.
Wes Anderson.
So Wes Anderson. Yeah, you can't even say good or bad. It's Wes Anderson.
Wes
Yeah,
Anderson.
it's just, it is literally his career has been building up to this. This is what it feels like.
It's its own metric because
Yeah,
if
he-
you like Wes Anderson, then this
You're-
is so Wes Anderson.
This is peak
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah,
He's,
this
he's
is-
reached peak
like
Anderson.
actually I
This
think
is
what he's
his
finally
final form.
what I think is he's finally found true North Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just super Wes Anderson. I'm looking forward to it. It annoyed me a little bit that when the kanji came up, the Japanese symbols, they had island written in the symbol for dog. And then,
Well, dog written in
written
the
in the
symbol
symbol.
for island.
yeah.
Yeah, don't make me correct your Japanese.
No, it was both. I said island written in the symbol for dog and dog written in the symbol for island. They swapped them around.
Nah, you did it the wrong way around.
But yeah, but then, you know, as I pointed out to you, that is also still just so Wes Anderson because it's symmetrical because the kanji with the English on either side does technically say Isle of Dogs on its own.
Yeah.
So it's symmetry, therefore it's
That's a
Wes
very
Anderson.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's extremely Wes Anderson.
Well-
it
well,
still
actually-
bothers me a little bit, but I understand, like, that
Stylistically,
perspective.
it's
Yeah.
just...
Either that or, as I say, some designer somewhere just got fired.
Yeah.
All right, so what's next?
Well, next is...
Can we just talk about the really, really,
Yeah,
really,
it's the
really,
really
really,
good-
really well-cut trailer?
It's the
that
really
we saw.
well-cut trailer.
That isn't
that's
even for a movie,
no,
but
it's,
we don't
it's
care.
tangentially movie-related because it is MCU, kind of?
Kind of, except there'll be no crossover.
Ever, but that's fine because The Punisher.
The Punisher.
Yeah, The Punisher. That was such a well-cut trailer. That was just... I'm surprised that people don't do more of that, the whole syncing the action on screen to the music, because it's just such an obvious thing to do
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
advertising, and it's just such an effective thing, and it looks a lot flashier and more difficult than it is. But
And for God's
they
sake,
just
it
pull
made
off so
Suicide
well.
Squad look like it might actually
Yeah,
be good.
I mean
Yeah.
that had me bamboozled for hours.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
It pulled all over my eyes.
So yeah, I'm I'm very happy with
For
it.
hours. Like, you watched it, and then later that evening, you're like, wait a second.
Exactly.
I know what they're trying to
I woke
do.
up at 2 a.m. like, wait, no, it's not gonna be good. What am I thinking?
You're just lying there next to Martina in bed. You're just, those bastards.
I love how it took you time to react to that.
No, it didn't. That happened instantly.
As this edit shows. Yeah, no, I'm super excited for it, and that was the best thing about Daredevil season 2. That
Yeah.
was the good thing about Daredevil season 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Punisher.
Yeah,
I know personally that Marcus's favorite part of
was
Daredevil
Elektra.
season, Elektra.
He
Loved
absolutely.
Elektra.
He can't.
Like he
can't
kept
decide-
going on and on about how like Elektra was involved.
Yeah,
and-
he talks about that a lot, and he can't get enough of the character. He absolutely loves that she was brought back as a central part of the Defenders. She just plays such a pivotal role, and she really she has such a great effect on Matt Murdock's character that he just acts in character all the time when she's involved, and her accent. I mean, her accent is superb, according to Marcus.
According to Marcus,
I
when,
think
when
all
he was
those things are-
rewatching them, he was
I
like,
disagree strongly with all those points.
yeah, Marcus was watching Jessica Jones, and he's like, you know what, this is good. A really, really compelling villain here, but I feel like it could be much improved by the addition of Elektra and the Hand.
Yeah, Elektra and the Hand.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah. So the Punisher looks amazing, and that was so well cut and such good use of music.
It had the
And they know
Edgar
they
Wright
told-
gear up scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have their target audience down. I mean, if you're gonna end it with that logo with that thrashy music, it just all fits together so
Yeah,
perfectly.
it's just like they are marketing this to what DCEU tends to try and market their movies to. That 90s edgelord guys.
Yeah,
And the
that's
thing is, they really needed this trailer to be as good as it was because of how the Netflix Marvel Universe thingy has been slowly slipping.
Yeah. Defenders is apparently, sort of. There's no way to reliably gauge viewership, and they
Yes.
regularly scoff at people's attempts to and say that they're way off.
Yeah.
But just sort of the general indicator is that Defenders is a bit of a flop in terms of.
it's also just the quality of
Yeah, I
it.
mean-
If you
I
look
mean,
at
objectively
it started
from
second
our
half of
point.
Daredevil season 2
Yeah.
into Iron Fist and then
No,
straight
whoa! I'd say
No.
Iron Fist is a big step. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking about Luke Cage. Sorry,
Yeah.
just edit that out quickly. Just re-say your thing. I don't want that on the record. Okay, but go back. Go say it
Okay.
again.
Yeah, so the Netflix Marvel Universe has been slipping since Daredevil season 2 because it went from Daredevil season 2.
Into Jessica Jones.
No, but I'm saying it's
In terms of
downward
the
slip,
sort of the
in terms
slip in the
of
quality.
Oh,
Yeah, they sort of.
Quality or viewership, because remember, post Daredevil season 2, we did get Luke Cage, and that was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, but Daredevil season 2, and then also obviously Iron Fist, just
Iron
in terms of
Fist.
quality, and unfortunately the thread,
Defenders.
instead of the thread from Luke Cage and Jessica Jones carrying over into the Defenders, it was the Daredevil's second half of season 2
Yeah.
and Iron Fist.
They bet
that
on the
informed
wrong
it.
horse,
Yeah,
basically. the
exactly, and
Defenders.
that is the problem, that they had the Defenders made, done, ready to ship when Iron Fist happened.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what a horrible character.
I did enjoy Luke Cage punching him.
Yeah, that was
Ooh,
fun.
yeah. Oddly enough, they had a pretty good rapport after the
Yeah, no.
punches.
I look forward to them buddying up, and I look forward to the whole Misty with her bionic arm.
Which would also be pretty cool as a series, actually. Just do a Daughters of the Dragon series, because those are two just outside of the comic books where they don't even really feature as a thing. You know, it sort of exists on the sidelines and has had a couple of issues. But just Misty Knight and Colleen Wing as characters,
Yeah.
as portrayed in the Netflix series, work well together.
And Colleen was the only good part about Iron Fist.
So I would actually like to see
What I was gonna
the
say,
two of them in their own series.
that would be good, but it usually works better as a team thing, not just a two. You need a third party. You need the badass. You need the one that sort of holds it all together. And I think I know where you're going with this, Elektra.
Elektra.
What? Yes.
2 steps ahead of you, Marcus.
Yes, because I want a Marvel Gotham City Sirens. That's exactly what I want.
I knew
Well,
it.
yeah, you sent me a message last night saying that.
Yeah.
That was it, in all caps, word for word. The message you sent. You sent it to your whole contacts list. everyone.
Ah, shit. All right.
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up for this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Punisher kicks ass.
Woohoo!
All that's
Can't
left
wait.
is the CineBeards recommendations and then
All right.
plug-in stuff.
All right, so Blu-rays and rentals. Currently, Wonder Woman is out on Blu-ray, so that is a no-brainer. And there is also a fresh 4K Ultra HD, amazing, super-duper special edition, if you have the hardware to handle it, of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Ooh,
And
fancy.
yeah, and that is looking absolutely amazing.
Who's got a
So-
4K TV that we could abuse to go watch that?
Andre.
Yes.
Evie.
Let's do that.
Let's do
because
that.
that is looking. I saw like high-res screenshots. You know,
Yeah.
where you can actually sort of zoom in. You can see like the relative levels of quality, and it looks like such an amazing transfer. So yeah,
Fantastic.
that's my recommendation.
Marcus, your streaming recommendations?
My streaming recommendations for this week, I would say they're pretty obvious. Fantastic Mr. Fox is on Netflix, so go watch that to prepare yourself for Isle of Dogs if you want to get a sense of Wes Anderson in stop motion.
I just realized Isle of Dogs sounds a lot like I Love Dogs.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I love dogs.
And
I hear it now. I hear it.
I wish people could actually hear us waving our arms about. And we put a lot of acting into this, and it's just wasted.
We really
well,
have to
until
film
we
these
get
one
those
day.
GoPros and film this, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been a bit of like I interrupted the things.
Yeah.
Marcus, I'm
So
sorry.
my other
again.
recommendation, besides Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is on our Netflix, go watch, if you haven't yet, just go watch BoJack Horseman Season 4, because it is the best thing on Netflix right now. Like,
Agreed.
I started watching BoJack Horseman probably about 4 or 5 days ago, and
From
I'm on
season one.
From season 1, first time I've seen it. I'm now midway through season 4. I'm completely hooked and incredibly depressed.
but that show does that to you.
Yeah, that is an objectively amazing show.
Yeah. Go watch BoJack Horseman Season 4 if you've watched the other BoJack. If you haven't watched any BoJack, there's 4 seasons of it now.
It's so good. Fresh convert here, and
Yeah.
I can attest it is amazing.
Binge watching does sound dangerous, though.
Yeah, no, it has not been good for my mental health. I'm not gonna lie. you need to space it out. You need to space it out.
Yeah, you need to space it out over at least 8 days. You can do like half a season each day.
Yeah,
and you might
I think that's
survive.
survivable.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, of course, the cinema recommendations come from me. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. Properly good horror, really, really well shot and directed, and Bill Skarsgård is terrifying as Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other movie you need to go out and see, Logan Lucky. Yep, so that'll...
Jason, remind me, who directed Logan Lucky again?
Shit, I forget his name, but it's the fellow who did Ocean's 11. Came
Oh.
out of retirement to direct
Well, I mean,
Logan Lucky.
he's going to do a good heist movie, so...
Yeah,
let
no,
alone-
the heist part of it is incredible, but don't go in expecting a heist movie with chases and explosions.
But
and
isn't
big action.
Kylo Ren also in this one?
Yeah, and what's nice is it never panders to the American, like, heart of America Midwest thing, and it never really makes fun of them. Like, it just walks this perfect line of just, I guess, treating them like humans?
Whoa! Graham Hollywood is growing up.
Yeah. So, you've got a heist movie directed by the guy that made Ocean's 11 with Kylo Ren
Yeah,
and James
Steven
Bond.
Soderbergh.
Steven Soderbergh. So, go watch it. It's interesting, and you've probably never heard of it. Right, Jason?
Yeah, no, it's very much under the radar. I went there opening weekend to watch it, and I was one of 4 people in the cinema. It was really disappointing.
Well, in that case, I hope it's still on the cinema by the time this goes out.
That's going to do it for this. Yeah, that's it. Just the plugging things. Thanks to Jared Thiessen for our brilliant cover art, making us look far cooler than we actually are.
Yeah,
Yep.
Actually, no, accurately depicting how cool
perfectly.
we are.
Including your bionic eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Cool eyes. You can look at his stuff. I'll link a thing to his portfolio down below. Yeah, I think that does it from my side of the plugs. Dion, anything you want to plug?
You can follow me at Dion van Heerden 1. Some other idiot out there with a stupid name took the normal one. And where I never tweet. So I'm probably the easiest Twitter account to follow.
Marcus, your plugs?
I have several plugs of varying sizes. So you can follow me on Twitter at Viking of Science. You can also follow my YouTube channel's Twitter at Escape from Mount Backlog, stylized with ESC for escape. You can also find me on this YouTube, where I have a channel where I play video games more than I should. Strategy month is just about ending by the time this goes out. Next month, something scarier. Ooh. And other than that, yeah, just follow the Facebook and the YouTube and the Twitter and watch me play some games. Apparently these guys like watching them, so...
Yeah. The
that's a
particularly
thing.
funny episode last week, that was all sitcom-like.
Yes, in fact, Jason, I think you should link to that one specifically,
I'll link to that one specifically. That's
because I've been getting good feedback from that one, even if I do say so myself.
Okay, and then obviously you can follow all of us on YouTube here. You can subscribe to us. You can follow us on Podiant.
Podiant? What's Podiant?
Podiant is a cool podcast hosting website
Whoa!
where you can both stream and download our show.
What?
That sounds radical.
That's totally radical, dude. Bodacious.
Bodacious.
Righteous, brah. Alright, let's go shred
Oh
some
yeah,
gnar.
we're done. We're done.
Alright,
let's go get
let's
some
go.
crabbies.
Let's go get some crabbies.
And shred some gnar.